guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at one of my favorite filming spot locations because guess what? We have that power pack punch in an SUV. What the heck is it? It's this vehicle right here. This is your updated, changed up 2025 BMW X6 M Competition. But before we get into this sort of tweak style, but a brand new color on this X6 known as Isle of Man Green, before we get into this powerhouse of an SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. BMW, they've been doing the business since the early 1900s. Remember, it was all about airplanes, airplane engines. And then after World War I, they switched to motorcycles. And then eventually in 1933, they made their first car. Now, what's fascinating is when you see the M badge and it's a true M vehicle, you know you're gonna get the utmost in performance and engineering. Now, what's fascinating is that BMW has been racing around the world, and they're currently racing in the IMSA GTP class with their prototypes, but also still racing in the GTD class. Now, the reason why I say that is because the GTP class, being prototypes, is all about the future technology and engineering that's going to trickle into their vehicles. The GTD class is more the road going stuff. Now, for many years, it was always about the M3. M3, everywhere you've seen. I remember when I was younger going to the Rolex 24, 12 hours of Sebring. But you know what? Their SUVs have come a long way. Not only have they built a very big lineup of SUVs from the X1, the X2, all the way up to the X7. With this X6, you're getting the size of an X5. So this is basically a mid-size crossover SUV, but you're getting that sexy, coupe, slick, sportback design. So what I want to find out is if you're looking for the best new mid-size performance SUV, do you go X6 M Competition? Do you go with an AMG? Or maybe even that Genesis GV80 coupe? Let's go ahead, let's dive into our Isle of Man Green. I love the color, I love the name, Isle of Man Green X6 M Competition, and find out. Right off the bat, the color. We first brought you this color a few years ago. It was on an M4, but boy, does it fit the larger size of the X6. And if you're wondering what the hell is the Isle of Man, that is that small island within the islands of Great Britain where they race the Isle of Man TT. It's a time course event with motorcycles on public roads. Now, at the front end of the XM Competition, you're gonna find new headlight design. Love the way they're doing now their LED daytime running lamps and turn signals, all built into one. Interesting how they've moved away from the traditional halo design. And then of course you're gonna have those projector beam LED headlights. Let me know if you're okay with this new style of lighting. Working our way down, absolutely ginormous corner air intakes. You can see the heat exchangers lurking from behind. You can literally take a Florida orange and shove it in there. That's how much room you have. It is gloss black, but I'm very happy to say functional up top, functional on the bottom, and the rest is Isle of Man Green. Now, as we come across the new grille, this is something that you see that they're bringing on their performance SUVs. It's kind of interesting because I like the overall size of the new grille, but let me tell you some of the other things after I describe what's going on here. First of all, you got large openings for your upper grille. Of course, you got a forward-facing camera, and to the right of that, there it is, the X6 M badge. This is a real deal M car. Working your way down a large area of a bucket of gloss black that was just poured everywhere. I don't know if I'm loving it. I would like to maybe see this center section still be Isle of Man Green, but on the lower area, like I said, large openings. I mean, you could easily put a body part or two behind that grille area. And then I like the way you have this little bit of an air dam along the bottom because that is going to stop air from, or at least stop some air from going underneath the vehicle. And the other part is that it's made out of this rubber material. So if you hit a parking block with it, you're not going to heavily damage it right away at least. But let me know if you're digging the new face of this X6 M Competition. It's taking some design cues from that performance SUV known as the XM, especially in the center area. Now, as you rise up, I always have loved how BMW shapes a lot of their hoods and how it intersects with the top grille. You do have your BMW badge, Bavarian Motor Works from Bavaria. Love that badge, the history behind it. And then the hood, you're getting a nice kind of twin peak bulge, and then it kind of slopes down to the fenders. I'm glad that they kept it simple and clean, and usually German styling is very simple and clean, and I kind of like that. Now, as you go around the bend, get ready for some massive German pizza style wheels. So we have the optional 21-inch forged aluminum wheels, real deal M branding on the wheels. You have those huge Ronald McDonald, it's as big as Ronald McDonald's head, just like his red hair, those bright red Brembo calipers, 6-piston calipers. Rotors are cross-drilled and two-piece to cut down on brake heat buildup and also rotating mass. And then you'll notice that we have those Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires. These are the real deal performance tire. $295 on the width, 35 series sidewall, and I'm gonna have Lori show off the upper suspension. You got your upper control arm, all of your bushings and everything have been beefed up for performance, and they're adaptive. So the suspension is adaptive, all four corners with the shock absorbers. Wheel, it looks great, but I'll be honest with you, it's hard to clean. I had to clean it before filming it, and it was a bit of a bear, but you know what? It's a labor of love, right? It's a labor of love when you got a car like this. Painted fender flares all the way around. I'm really digging that. And even the way they work this side marker light, it's got a nice bend to follow the flow of the fender. Now, as we have Lori swing around and show off our design of the side vent there, it's a little bit of a misnomer. That is not an actual vent, it's fake. It looks good, but I do have to zonk it. It is not real. I actually stuck my hand in there just to make sure. So it does have the X6M badging, and it does look damn good, but it's not functional. So let me know how you feel about that. I'm gonna give it a half a zonk because I like the way it looks, but it would be nice if it was functional. Now, coming down the side, you do have power folding mirrors, and BMW does a great job with the aerodynamics on the mirror. I don't know any other brand that takes so much effort and time to put the aero into the mirrors. You got your LED turn signals, 360-degree cameras. I like the way we have no roof rails, none of that crap. We do have a panoramic glass roof, which is great. Panoramic sunroof that opens up. Gloss black top and bottom and all the way around. Isle of Man green on your door handles. And that gives it a nice cohesive look. And then even on the side skirt extension all the way to the rear. Now, speaking of the rear tires and wheels back here, we have 315s out back. That's as wide as a tire on the back of my Shelby GT350R. But like I said, 21-inch wheels up front. This is a 22-inch wheel out back. This vehicle is rear-wheel drive based, but of course, we have the X-Drive that's gonna make us leap from a dead stop like a freaking leopard. And then the one thing I do have to zonk is they did not give us Brembos on the rear calipers. WTF, this is a real M car. Where's my Brembos? Only up front, not on the back. Limited slip diff, of course, and it sends power to the front as needed, to the front wheels as needed. Now, as we swing around, I want Lori to kind of show off that nice flared fender painted, and then how everything slopes back into the rear quarter panel. They do a great job on their LED lighting, just like up front. And then they found a good place to put the DOT required reflector. They kind of flared out the rear and dropped that reflector in there. Love the badging, X6 M Competition. We got all the horsepower. You have a gloss black kick-up rear spoiler on the back of the hatch, because remember, this whole rear end opens up, and you do have those aero elements on the back side of the roof there as it comes into the glass. No rear wiper needed. Because of the aerodynamics, it makes the water just glide off easy peasy. Now, from the back, you have this very purposeful width to the vehicle, the BMW badge in the center, and then working our way down the ground level, quad tip exhaust M performance exhaust, slash tip, staggered, the whole 9 yards, and a good looking rear diffuser in the center here. It is gloss black, but you know, it does match the gloss black at the front of the vehicle. And see how they brought some green here? That's what I was thinking, that if they brought some body color in between the front grills, it would kind of not make it look so gloss black heavy. This actually looks good. If they would have done the whole rear bumper in gloss black, I think that would have been a bad move. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk horsepower of this X6 M Competition. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hood struts to hold open the hood. Pretty beefy underneath the hood. I love the bracing that they put to tie in not only the rear firewall, you could see the bracing going back towards the firewall, but also the front of the vehicle right behind the radiator. And then we have that tasteful engine cover. It's got the M-Power badge. That's all I need to know. Guess what we have? A twin turbo V8. It's 4.4 liters of twin turbo V8 goodness. I hope you're sitting down. 617 horsepower, 553 pound-feet of torque. It's made it to that ZF 8-speed automatic transmission with all-wheel drive, 0 to 60 in about 3.5 seconds, top speed 177 miles per hour, and it'll do the quarter mile in 12 seconds flat. MPGs, not the best, but if you really want a vehicle with MPGs, you need to go look at a Prius. This gets 13 in the city, 18 on the highway, and the vehicle weighs 5,400 pounds. So nice to see the V8 still alive and well and kicking over at BMW, especially with 617 freaking horsepower. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this V8 beast and hear its roar. All right, guys, we are here inside this 2025 BMW X6 M Competition. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I want an SUV, or I should say I need an SUV because of my family, because of my responsibilities, but I want something that's a little sportier than just your regular shape SUVs. And I've always been a BMW person, so I'm kind of digging this X6 M Competition. I guess the bottom line is, how much is it? MSRP starting is $129,000. This particular one is around $143,000 with the options that it has. But let's see what you get and what's new for 2025 to the door panels. I love the stitching and materials. Leather up top with the contrast stitching. Of course, you're going to have your Bowers & Wilkins sound system with the aluminum speaker grill covers. We have massage seats in here, and then you'll notice in the center, I like the way they do almost like that honeycomb design with the black perforated leather, the cocoa brown smooth leather, some carbon fiber, and there's ambient lighting in that silver trim on the door handle. You see that little edge that's in there? That's all ambient lighting. Another beautiful speaker grill cover, and then a door pocket that's large enough to put 6 Bavarian cream donuts and a dark chocolate, a German dark forest chocolate drink to sip it all down. And contrast stitching on the edge of the pocket. I mean, you don't see that a lot on door pockets. Going from the door panel to the dash, new touches. I like the way they bring some of this design in here. The leather on the dash with the stitching. Look at our all new light signature design with the M badge. And then of course that diagonal slash that goes with the M badge. Ambient lighting throughout. Carbon fiber throughout, and then as we slide on in, up top you do have your Bowers & Wilkins center speaker for the sound system, and then you have that all-new infotainment system. 14.9-inch infotainment system. There is a delineated dead space between the two, so it's not continuous. There is some space to separate the digital gauge cluster from the infotainment. Let me take you to the home screen, because it's kind of cool how they follow that diagonal kind of design. You could swipe all the different icons, all the different things, engine information with that detailed info like turbo boost, all that good stuff, your tire pressure. Watch this though. So I could hit navigation and it takes up all the screen. I go back to home and then we go into the apps. Look at all the different apps you have in here. And you could pick up all sorts of things, including your seat control, live vehicle. What does that mean? We could get into all the information. So you could go into your content, you could get vehicle status, check out all of that's going on with your vehicle, and then you go right back to the apps. Easy peasy. The one zonk, well, one of the zonks, there's a couple. All AC controls are in the screen. Your AC controls and your heated and ventilated seats are in the screen. And at first, this is a little complicated because you have to remember that you have the passenger side and you have the driver's side. And it just takes a second to say, what are these extra things over here? And then you got to slide it over a little bit. But you can adjust the temperature just by tapping. You don't have to drag. Same thing with the blower fan, is you're just going to tap. I do like that. I hate the dragging stuff. You can see how we go into our Sport Plus modes. I got everything set up for on throttle action. Let me throw it into reverse. Backup camera, clear as day, perfect resolution, 360-degree cam. You got your parking assist, and we can go into panoramic view, which is really cool. Or you could go into assist view, or you could go into parking view. Whatever it is, they got plenty of different ways to park your vehicle and have the technology that you come to expect in a BMW. Now, working your way down, new switch gear for the AC vents, and I like the way they actually hide the vents behind the trim. But I like these nice metal finishes. You do have a real volume knob, like always. Somebody spilled a bucket of carbon fiber in the center. You hit this, you have heated and cooled drink cup holders, wireless charging, a 12 volt and a USB-A in there. There it is right there. Now I'm going to close it up. You have your BMW iDrive control knob with the latest software, leather with the M stitching on your shifter for that ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. Some gloss black, but nothing too crazy. And then of course we got the cocoa brown. Bombs away! What do we got in here? USB-C and enough room, I would say, for 8 Hostess cupcakes. So you'll be good to go for everybody in this vehicle with the cupcakes and then the seats. All new. Love the way it's got the M6 M light up on the name badge. The same great leather, the same great design on the door panels. Awesome bolstering. Of course, power assist for the passenger, power assist for the driver. I do have Alcantara all over the headliner. And then we do have that power shade for our ginormous panoramic sunroof. That does open, so that's cool as well. One-touch operation. And then to put the cherry on top, we have our M stitching on the seatbelts. That's worth an extra 5 horsepower in my book. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel in this X6 M Competition. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 2 memory seat settings, and don't forget you have massage seats for both the driver and the passenger. I love this sill plate, illuminates LED at night, X6 M Competition. You see that when you get in your BMW? You did it right. Pedal box right out of an IMSA race car. Nice aluminum large dead pedal, brake pedal, and throttle. Of course, you got full access to all your seat controls. You can move them 20 different ways from Sunday. I'm 6 feet tall, and I love how the seats hug me, and I love how much room there is, even though this is like a chop top SUV. But it still feels very good in here. Steering wheel. I could rub my hand on this thing all day long. Love the M contrast stitching, the M colors, the M logo. You do have even stitching on the horn button. See how that looks so good? And then you do have your preference buttons that you could have already set up where you just hit that and it sets into your preferences. You got carbon fiber paddles to go up and down the 8-speed automatic. And it is electric tilting and telescoping on the steering wheel. And then you have that 12.3-inch digital display. What's cool about the display is that when you go into your different modes, which right now we're in road, I'm gonna hit sport. Look at how it changes. Ba-bam. Let's change again, because guess what? There's one more. Track. Activate track. Nice, look at that. So it actually tells you what your tire temperatures are. That is race car technology, everybody. And you have a head-up display. Plus, I like the fact that when you're in track mode, it shuts the infotainment system off. Because that's just going to be a distraction, right? All the information is right here. You're not going to be tuning to your favorite Sirius XM station, Margaritaville, while you're hot lapping at Sebring. That's just not going to happen. If it is, you're a distracted driver, and I don't know if I want to be on track with you. But I do love the head-up display, all the great information that you need. But let's get into the back seat because I want to see how many inches of space there are for your passengers. We're actually going to get a ruler out. I'm going to measure how many inches of space there are for your passengers in this X6 M Competition. Hi guys, backseat time. First of all, on these door panels, exactly just the same materials as they are up front. So that's very respectable, including the carbon fiber. They even get an M sill plate. Look at this. Everybody gets an M badge. Oprah Winfrey must have designed that part of the X6M. Now on the backs of the seats, they are like a one-piece back. Watch this. You ready? Dun, 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 dun. USB-Cs. I like the way they're hidden in the back of the seat, and they have a nice door. Large pockets. You could put a couple Bavarian pretzels in here, probably 3 of them, and make sure you have some of that spicy German mustard. That's one of my favorite mustards, is always that German, specifically German. No other region of the world. German spicy mustard. Now, we did use a ruler to measure back here, but I'm not going to tell you what that was in inches. What I can tell you is from the ground to the inside of the ceiling in here, you're looking at about 42 Twinkies. You just stack them up, like stand them up one right after another. So that is a lot of room considering this has that sport back design to make it really sleek. But look at this, I'm 6 feet tall. I'm not even close to the headliner, not even close. You do got a killer little command center back here, dual climate control. The one zonk back here is that you do get 3 stages of heated seats, but look at this, they give you dead buttons, $100-something thousand worth of SUV. I would like to have my ventilated seats. You do get a double Twinkie holder and a 12 volt. But like I said, I think the thing that's most respectable back here is the amount of room. You even have these nice sunshades just to keep the paparazzi from staring at you. Pull this down. It feels like somebody took a piece of plastic and wrapped it in leather. And if you open it up, that's why, because it's a lid. So you could easily put a 1-pound bag of Skittles in here. And then, of course, they have some of the most complicated folding cup holders that you'll ever find. But they're there. Just hopefully they won't break. But the same great design and the M badging on the seats and the seat belts. That's the big touch. That's the 5 horsepower. But let's get into the cargo area, because if you're surprised here how much room I have, I think you may be surprised back there too. Let's go ahead and check it out. All right, guys, cargo area time. What you're gonna find is just like the backseat area, you're still gonna get quite an awesome amount of space in the cargo area. Now, this does have that new hands-free operation. If you wanted to do it, you don't have to push the button. As long as the key fob is in your pocket, it will open up for you. But what do we got cargo room-wise? First of all, look at how low the cargo floor is. I like the way that gives us a nice ledge to hold all of our groceries so you're not chasing cantaloupes and cans of soup down the street. You also have the aluminum here on the back sill. This is good for when your lazy kids are dragging their junk out. They're not going to scratch the plastic. And then when it comes to actual hard numbers, what are those? Well, let's see. We have a total of 50 cubic feet of space with the seats up. Obviously, fold the seats down, and that's going to magnify them even higher for that Costco run. Now, what's great is that you do have a spare, which is sort of like a rarity when it comes to performance vehicles. And then you do have this cool security shade. It's a hard security shade. Right now it's folded. It's got the X6 badge here, but watch this. That's all you got to do to put it in place. I like that. I like that a lot better than the other ones where it's all attached to the glass and all that. Very, very nice. And then, of course, you can remove the whole thing. But enough talking with this cargo space. Now it's time to put the Isle of Man green money where BMW's mouth is. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's see what the on-throttle performance is like in this X6 M Competition. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 BMW X6 M Competition. I'm gonna use the paddles to manually shift, and we're in track mode. On throttle, here we go. Nice. Look at this. Love the brakes, the balance, all the way up to 7,000 RPM red line. Woo! I can't believe I'm in an SUV. Look at this. The way this thing performs is just, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So let's talk about what's going on here. Being in track mode is gonna shut down most of the nannies. I love the way the infotainment system goes dark if you choose to have it that way, so you can focus on what's in front of you. The paddles are nice and large, you're not gonna miss a shift. The seats hold you in well. The simulated sound is okay. I wish that they had more real sound coming out of the exhaust. The exhaust is so beautiful and has some pretty decent sound on the exterior. I just want a little bit more real sound and not stuff pumped in. But this thing builds speed like a locomotive, like a steam locomotive. It is very potent. The steering wheel itself is fantastic. Steering feedback, I would like a little bit more. It's a little light on the steering, even in track mode, and there's just something about it where I'm not getting as much communication as I would prefer from the front end of the vehicle. So that's just another thing to think about. But we gotta do this again, guys. If you're ready, I'm ready. Launch control. Ah! Love the launch control. Look at this. It performs like a freaking sports car. I mean, and with that all-wheel drive, the grip is just, it goes on and on and on. Very balanced on the brakes. Very balanced in the suspension. Oh yeah. Look at this. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, very minimal body roll. I just want a little bit more feedback through the wheel. But you could really feel that X-Drive all-wheel drive system just clawing to that asphalt. Getting to the new 14.9-inch infotainment system is well within reach. Everywhere you touch, the leather, the stitching, the carbon fiber, the ambient lighting, and even looking out the back window, it's not as difficult as you think. It really has a good amount of room, even though it's got that fastback sport roof design. But this thing is nothing but the business. And then the great thing is you could drive it to work. You could pick the kids up from school. You could take your significant other out to dinner. And the color, Isle of Man green. I tell you, I'm liking these modern green colors more and more each and every day. They're really doing a great job at all the different OEMs, especially BMW, with this green. All right, guys, one more time for you. Definitely one more time for me in this mean, lean, green machine. Second gear, 3,000 RPM. On throttle, here we go. All the way up the red line. Man, those brakes, look at this. Look at this. You can carry so much speed into the corners, it's incredible. And then you're getting all the important information. I mean, it's just spot on the money. Spot on the money with this thing. And it should be, because it is green like money. But having the launch control, having the not only the sport mode, but the track mode, or just keep it in normal and drive it like a normal human being, it really has you covered from every which way. And you got the Bowers & Wilkins sound system. I'm telling you, this thing, it's gonna surprise you. It really, really is. But I'm hoping that this has been a good overall review. We're gonna get back to where it all started and wrap this one up. So I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another masterful day here on Rady's Rides. Definitely want to thank the whole BMW USA team for getting us access to this X6 M competition. Let me know what you think. Are you going with this X6M? Are you going to go with an AMG GLE? Or are you going to go in a totally different route with the Genesis GV80 Coupe? Let me know down in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. None of this would be possible if it wasn't for the OG of Rady's Rides filming, LG Rady, Lori Gibbons Rady, working that camera like a champ. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.